What's up, Jonathan? What, you want to go round three? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, I got my piece out. You got your piece out. You made some valid points. I made some even better points, but it is what it is. We can leave it alone. Actually, I take that back. We can't leave it alone. Can't leave it alone. There are two things I do need to bring up. But before I bring that up, folks, I just watched Stunna Breezy's video this morning. Okay, now I just watched it. Actually, I listened to it because I was driving in my car, and I don't know the specifics. I haven't looked into what exactly transpired and what the drama is. So I'm just gonna kind of interpret what he said, and I just think it's funny. He talked about how there is someone on YouTube that did an AMA with Forex. And then afterwards, he took the telegram, this YouTuber took the telegram saying drip is unsafe. And of course, got all kinds of backlash from the drip community. And so his response was something, I don't know if it was to Forex or like, let's have a debate then and on what is safer, Bitcoin or drip. Stunna said it perfectly. I mean, drip can't lose in this. Guys, drip can't lose even if it loses. The fact that it is actually brought up as a conversation piece, that it's brought up as a debate. 3 months ago, drip was considered a Ponzi. I mean, it still is considered a Ponzi by so many people. I mean, I was in my car just dying laughing, like Stunna he said it perfectly. Drip wins no matter what. The fact that it's a conversation, Bitcoin, come on. Bitcoin is the largest cap cryptocurrency there is. We see what Michael Saylor's doing with how much he's accumulating in Bitcoin. There was that billionaire finance guy several months ago that came out and said that he put 50%, he allocated 50% of his portfolio into Bitcoin, which goes against a lot of traditional ways of investing, right? That you would never allocate that much of any one thing in your portfolio. So Bitcoin, in terms of in the crypto world, is considered the most safe, the digital gold. And now somebody who says drip is unsafe, his comeback is to then, well, let's debate it against Bitcoin. This is great. This is great. I mean, drip can't lose, man. That's great. Hey, folks, welcome to Beach Office 365, where I bring you the latest and greatest in crypto, DeFi, and passive income. Oh, hey, now, going back, Jonathan, to you, the two things. Okay, got to get this out, all right? One, I would have to disagree, right, with the comment you made about I only called you out because I'm trying to get more subs. That is absolutely wrong. I am trying to get your subs, okay? And the reason why is because you have a lot of them, and I don't think that they have been properly educated about the reservoir because you haven't looked into it really. And I have this little airtime in case some of those subs that are yours are watching this. Folks, you haven't gotten the education around the reservoir yet. When we talk about the reservoir, it has nothing to really do with getting a return. Now, before you tune out, right, it has to do, okay, just hang on. It has to do with, as community members in drip that want to see drip grow, get bigger, we want to see price appreciation. The reservoir, if everybody in drip were to put in 0.1 BNB, which is about what, $30, okay, that helps raise the floor of drip. And there has been a big push in this already. And as a result of it, that is why we're seeing the price of drip starting to level off where it is. Now, I know the price doesn't look great and you're thinking, what are you even talking about? With the current circulating supply of drip, the price of drip should be around $8. But because people have been injecting money into the reservoir, this has helped provide additional liquidity, causing the price to come up. There's a lot of other YouTubers talking about it. If this is the first time you've heard about it and you want a more in-depth understanding of it, I always leave in all of my videos the link to Easy Step Investing. This guy has a whole channel dedicated to understanding the drip reservoir. He's got a Telegram group where you can learn everything you can about the drip reservoir. Stunner Breezy has gone on a whole campaign to help support this. And as a result of it, we saw a huge increase in reservoir deposits. So it's really important you know that. Now, this brings me to the second thing. Hence, this has to do with a thumbnail. Okay. And this is about, Jonathan, you're talking about accountability. And I agree with what you're saying. As someone, I own 2 businesses and I have people that work under me. Accountability is so important. I mean, accountability is key. You need to have accountability to truly get the best out of people, right? To get the job done. I also believe that not just within business, but in personal, holding somebody to a higher standard than they can hold themselves is one of the biggest acts of love you can do. And so accountability, I look at as a very positive, a very good thing. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be punitive, right? But holding someone accountable is important. Completely agree. Now, as someone who has people working under them, I also am trying to really get an understanding of the individual and look at where they have strengths. And some people have extreme strengths in certain areas, but lack it in other areas. There's a discrepancy. Okay. So having a blanket way of holding people accountable, I don't think is very helpful. You have to really understand the individual, and you have to know what is going to work best to get the most out of them. You want to suck the most out of them. Let's be real. We want the results. Okay. So it's not about blanketly holding everyone accountable. That's my personal theory. That's the way I like to do things. Am I making an excuse right now? Maybe, but I want to use an example to try and really help get across what I'm saying here. As a kid growing up, I was a huge Chicago Bulls fan, huge. Okay. I never even been to Chicago. In fact, to this day, I've actually never been to Chicago. I've only, flown through it. Right. But I was a huge Chicago Bulls fan. I was a even bigger Michael Jordan fan. I mean, to this day, Michael Jordan is by far my favorite basketball player. He's up there in my favorite athletes ever. Whether you like him or not as an individual, I don't think anyone can deny the fact the guy could play ball, and he won a lot. So I, of course, was glued to the TV when The Last Dance series came out on, I think it was HBO. I've already watched that like twice. I mean, I can't get enough of it. And Dennis Rodman, who I think is probably one of the best defenders to ever play the game. Okay. I don't want to go on and on about why Dennis Rodman is great. Let's just kind of all agree that he's a very talented basketball player, and he played a very vital role in the Bulls winning multiple championships while he was there. Now, I want to go into The Last Dance, and I want to go over something, and this has to do with accountability, right? And having an individualized understanding of people and what they need.
I come to practice, Phil calls me and says, Dennis wants to tell you something. When Dennis wants to tell me something, I know it's not something that I want to hear. So Dennis says, I need a vacation. And I look at Phil and say, what do you mean vacation? He says, you need a vacation. You need some time off to let loose. Phil, let me tell you something, man. If anybody needs a vacation, I need a vacation. We look at Dennis and said, Dennis, what are you going to do? He says, well, I need to go to Vegas. So then he looks at Dennis and said, Dennis, well, can your vacation be like 48 hours?
Okay. I mean, and that was during the 97, 98 season, one of their best seasons ever, where they were going for the title, the best record, to win it all. Okay. And if you go on and watch that actually, and you hear, Phil Jackson, he just knew that is something that Dennis needed. Okay. Was he going to just let everyone, go off and go to party in Vegas during a critical time during the season? No. But he knew, how can I get the most from this man? How can I get the most from this man? All right, let him go to Vegas. And it worked. I mean, Dennis came back. They thought he was going to be all out of shape and tired and everything like that. Like, he smoked everybody in practice. They were going to try and tire him out, and he was just in tip-top shape. There is something about Dennis Rodman, right? Similar to even like Lawrence Taylor, where it's just like there's something in them that goes beyond what is normal. You know, Michael Jordan even said that Dennis Rodman was the smartest basketball player he ever played with, right? So look, Forex. Okay. Listen, this video I know is going to take a lot of heat. I'm ready for you guys to just light up my comments and say that I don't know what I'm talking about and that this is an unfair comparison and this is stupid. Probably is. Okay. But I just want to bring up this accountability thing because I'm a big believer in it. And I think that I myself, I'll just stick with me. I'm not going to suggest what you guys do. I'll stick with me. I myself, the more that I have been learning about Forex, the more I've been learning about some of the tokenomics, especially doing all the deep dive into the reservoir stuff, recognizing that there is a level of genius in him that usually I have always seen that when someone has this heightened sense, right, this heightened ability, that always means there's something else that's compromised. Point is that Forex, I believe, has a certain level of geniusness where he thinks just a little bit differently. And I think one of the offsets of that is the fact that he's really horrible at other things. And some of that might be his communication with all of us. Does that make it right? Does that make it fair? No, of course not. I'm not trying to just make excuses for him. I'm just letting you know how I try and approach it, because believe me, there's times where he's missing something and I'm like, dude, why? Now, I'm not saying that because I'm like, you should be making your deadlines. I'm thinking it like, oh man, everyone's going to be so pissed. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to see this. You know what I mean? And I give the man a level of leniency or bandwidth that I wouldn't necessarily give someone else. Okay. And if I was managing people, which I have done, where I've held someone to a certain standard and then I've changed and held someone else to a different standard without causing some type of mutiny, obviously. Okay. Because that's a whole other thing in terms of, you know, being a leader and running teams. But there's a way of doing it, right, where you're knowing what you're getting from the individual. So you give them something in return because you know you'll get more back from them. And I want Forex to just be a developer. I don't want him talking. I'm glad that he's got hopefully some assistant, he was saying, that's going to help. He needs a whole PR person with him. I just, you know, like, because he says things and it's like, oh man, like they're going to hold you to that and you don't know what you're talking about. Like just stick to coming up with like these amazing protocols where one thing is helping something else and the piggies are doing this with the doggies, you know, and the piglets and the truffles and everything's moving around. If you like take a step back and look at all the moving parts, all of which are ultimately designed to create functionality and use case for the drip token so that we can all get rich. That's my thoughts, guys. All right, go ahead, crucify me all you want. Tell me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't make sense. Like, that's stupid. You can't be successful this way. I can take it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Hit it. Hit me. Hit me. I can take it, folks. I can take it. I'll catch you guys on the next one.